because it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Broncos going up against the Jaguars.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
I don't care how many accolades you had in college. There's no such thing as a can't-miss quarterback. But Blake Bortles has shown in his time in the NFL that he's a guy that you can build a team around.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rivera. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that...
And when this ball's tipped and intercepted, it's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logic. Reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. They run the counter now. It's Anderson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job.
Anderson loses the football, and the Jags grab it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right? That 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get the host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. After the penalty, it's Fournette. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
To throw, it's Bortles. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Now hang on a moment here. Marshall's in some pain. Still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Maybe an anxious moment or two when the ball is on its way, but he does find a way to curl it in.
Oh, yeah. That one definitely hugged the left upright, but he got it to go.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
On 2nd down, here's Simeon. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The former Broncos scored a touchdown for him in the Super Bowl. Malik Jackson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing third and long. So the D-line's going to spread out. Third and long. It's Simeon. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far. Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Bortles now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Rivera. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down. That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball. Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter. No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down. Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game. It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football. And it's a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now. They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest. You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down? Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. So we hit the quarter break in round one of the AFC playoffs. 3-0 is our score. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Bortles. And this one is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Nortman on to kick as he sends it away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And he loses the football a second time. And some room to roam. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Nick Novak on now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 18-yard line. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Jaguars now. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much fun they're having, because that's indeed what's going on. Beating them to the punch just about every snap now, swarming, swooping, taking the ball away. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Opportunistic, right?
Very much so.
They start the drive with Anderson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now Simeon. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for a loss of 5.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. A play fake to Anderson. It's Simeon. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Simeon finding Thomas there to give the Broncos a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On the carry, it's Booker. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
To throw on second is Simeon. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Play fake to Anderson. Now Simeon. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On second down, here's Fournette. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now Bortles. And Robinson with a big catch. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Nate Palmer. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And coming out now. The Broncos. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Here's Simeon now on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And that'll be incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Shotgun now for Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. You can count his carries on 1 finger. They've only given him the rock 1 time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. They run it again with Anderson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Flushed out right. Complete. The tight end Rivera. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Fighting through. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get him with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On second down, here's Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So we're at halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. As we send you a couple hours south to Orlando, let's check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Jaguars are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Broncos didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Now, 1st and 10, Simeon's going to complete the pass, and he'll be tackled at their own 48-yard line. A fumble would end up leading to a turnover. 1st and 10, the ball will pop loose here. Jaguars end up picking up the ball and scoring, pushing the lead to 10. Set up now, 3rd and 7. Bortles finding his big receiver, Allen Robinson. And he ends up at the 44-yard line before he stops. Final seconds of the half. Robinson is found on the quick pass. And he'll be tackled at the 11-yard line. So that's all for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll get you back out to the field now for some more playoff action.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. On second down, Anderson. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A second down carry for Booker. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And movement by one of the Broncos up front. And in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The Broncos on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Simeon. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. The 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. C.J. Anderson, 47 yards. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bag.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
T.J. Yeldon past the 20. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, 68 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Flush to his right. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. And you see the last drive, great chunky yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
Again, Anderson. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through him. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On the handoff, this is Booker, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Right back back to Booker. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Fake it. Now Simeon. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Paul Posluszny coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far, and second down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Devontae Booker taking it in. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Devontae Booker that's able to finish it off with a touchdown. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, fourth quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first down, this is Ivory. And an alley to run. Chris Ivory off to the races. 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory, 67 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Novak is on to attempt the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
His throw incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw there.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Simeon. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Desperation time for Simeon on 4th. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Can't officially call this a win for them yet, but it's looking good to move on to the divisional round. They'll be on the road, of course, as an underdog. But the age-old question, Would you rather have the momentum they're going to have or sitting at home with a bye? I'm sure you'd probably rather have the bye.
You remember that conference call we had before the playoffs started? We were talking with some people in the industry and some of the coaches that are out there. And we kind of posed the same question. You know, if you're coming off of a game like this, you know, and you're taking on a team that had that open week, which way do you want to go? And you remember the answer they gave us? I want the better team.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I get it. But I think there's a lot to having that momentum of having played versus coming off of that layoff, because maybe you start a little bit slower. We see those upsets happen all the time.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? Needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the fourth.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dewan Smoot in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Siemian. Hauled in by Anderson left side. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart.
Chris Ivory loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now it's Siemian. Screenplay, Anderson. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down. And now Anderson is slow to get up, staying down after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Simeon. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Back to throw, Simeon. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. A first down as it's Simeon with a hook up to Sanders. On first down, it's Simeon. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39! Green 39!
Simeon throwing again. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Booker on first down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now you got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jake Butt, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Caught out left side by Robinson. Got some real estate inside the 30.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Ivory. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. Oh, twisting away. There they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was third and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, The defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
Trevor Siemian and the Broncos heading back out. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy is struggling.
And he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. And now out come the Jags. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.